Very excited tonight to have media night for the lacrosse program here at Malone University, both men's and women's. I'm Billy Beebe. Again, I do the play-by-play for the men's basketball team here at the university. So I want to run through who we have at the table tonight before we get to some questions. Have a little bit of fun and talk academics, talk sports, talk everything going on here at Malone. So of course, year 3 for Coach Campbell joining us tonight. Appreciate you coming, Coach. Talon Heath, a senior. Zach Smargesso, a junior. Cody Bargart, also a junior. From the women's team, Coach Jewell in year 2. Cam English, a junior from Louisville, Ohio. Cambry Neuenschwander, a sophomore. And Summer Joe Griescher, from a sophomore from Michigan. So again, thank you all for coming up. We're excited to hear from you guys. So we'll ask a couple questions all around here from the coaches, players, and you guys just feel free to pass the mic. And might be a couple where if you feel like you want to answer, go ahead and either grab the mic or raise your hand. So we will start with the coaches. We'll start with Coach Campbell. Last year for you, Coach Campbell, go ahead and give some thoughts and then maybe a few things you want to say about this year coming up.
For sure. So last year was definitely a big year for us. Went 8-9, made it into our playoffs. Had a lot in front of us, so really proud of what the guys did. Looking to build off that again this year. Hopefully, playoff team, above 500, and kind of continue to build a legacy here. So the guys are pretty pumped up about what we're able to do, but it's now all about the work and building this thing up brick by brick.
Yeah, the men 8-9 last year. They will open their season on February 8th coming up here, so excited to check that out. Coach Jewell, for you, thoughts on last season and then what you've seen to get ready for this year?
So last season was very much a building season. We did the best we can with the limited numbers that we had last season. Interestingly enough, even on a Division II level, we were able to win 3 games, and I think that some of those games that we lost were close, and that we hung with some of the teams, and we just didn't have the depth that we needed to actually hang and to be able to compete with some of those higher level teams. So this year we have a big freshman class, and I am super excited to see how we're able to compete in the GMAC, and excited for the GMAC to underestimate us. We had polls come out today. We're ranked 6th in the conference, and I think that they're going to have a really big wake-up call when we step out on the field, because they're expecting last year's team, and we are nothing like last year's team.
I like a great answer there, Coach. The women's team will open on February 15th. We will let Talon Heath open things up, our senior on the panel here. Talon, lacrosse teams have kind of a larger roster compared to some of the other teams on campus. How do you guys stay close as a group with so many guys?
Coach Mike, he always just calls us a brotherhood, and that's really what we are. Everything we do is together. We spend so much time together with us in the locker room, study hall, and I take a lot of pride of that as being a senior, because it goes by fast. So just like having a family, like 35 of us, it's really cool.
Great answer there. We'll ask Cam the same question on the other end.
I think a big difference with having 15 freshmen. It was a big adjustment that we had to make, but I think we're doing really good. Bonding really well. It's probably one of the best team chemistries we've had for a very long time. So really excited to get into the season and only grow our friendship and our teammates.
Back to the coaches. If you guys both want to give us some thoughts on the programs are both young for men's and women's. Men's heading into year 3, women's into year 2. What are some of the challenges of building up a program after just a few years, and what's part of the excitement of doing that? We'll start with Coach Jewell.
So last year we had, because it was our first year, we had to rely on a lot of walk-ons for the team. So girls that started, and we had to start with basics, and that was one of the reasons for our low win percentage. But it's also one of the reasons why I'm excited, because even with so many walk-ons, we were able to accomplish so many things and have some really close games that were competitive on, like I said before, a Division II level. So I'm excited to have these girls come in and the freshmen come in and compete on this higher level. One of the challenges and we actually just talked about this tonight, is that having such a large freshman group, being able to come in at that higher level and be able to compete and understand the differences between the high school level and the college level, which I'm happy to have such good leaders and have the experience that I have here, because the girls like Cam and Cambry and Summer getting experience from playing in years past will be able to pass that on to these freshmen and be able to show them what they can and cannot get away with at the collegiate level.
Coach Campbell, for you, part of the process of year 3 for the program, excitement, maybe some things you've had to work on?
Yeah, for sure. So I guess you can say the most exciting thing is continuing to see the program grow. Just like Talon hit on, the brotherhood is the biggest thing. Like finding like-minded guys that not only want to impact the program but are good fits to Malone. That's the exciting part. Finding guys that want to be here. That's always exciting. Also leads to some challenges as well in that recruitment process. Just because we are a Christian school, sometimes it's a little bit harder to find guys that fit that niche. But the guys in the room make it easy for me. We bring them onto campus. They let me know right away, hey, coach, this guy's a great fit for us. Or, hey, we might want to stay away from a guy like that. He might not be a good fit for the culture. So, kind of the positives and the negatives of, kind of building a program up is finding those guys that fit. But it's been easy. These guys make it so easy for me. We go out, we win games, we bring guys onto campus. They see the positive impact we're having. So, that's the good and the bad, but these guys make it easy.
Great answer, Coach. We'll get back to recruiting here in just a couple minutes. We'll ask Cambry, what are some things you did in the off-season to get ready for this upcoming year? Either drills or some teams you were on, even working with other people on the team?
Yeah, I had a big setback this season, or last season actually. I actually tore my back, so I didn't really play my best and to my greatest ability. So I feel like starting off very early in the season, I was just working with all my teammates and stuff to just get back to how I was, and then continue throughout the summer just to do a bunch of little drills to get my back into how good shape and kind of just continue on what I'm doing.
Zach, we'll ask you the same question. What did you do in the off-season to get ready for this year? I mean, even this school year, you have the opportunity to be back on campus and working.
Yeah, so I had an opportunity. I just worked with my high school teammates. Actually, I had some good buddies that also play in college, so I worked with them, and then just constantly shooting, constantly working out, trying to get bigger, and going from there, and just working on my body so that I'm ready to go in season.
Awesome, yeah. Great answers there, guys. We'll get to Cody on the end here, answer some questions, a little bit about your team. I'm going to ask some superlatives, some who's the best at this, that, so give us your answer to get things going. Who's the best cook on the men's team?
Derek Smith. Derek Smith by a long shot. Derek Smith is one of my housemates, one of my roommates, who I love dearly. He outcooks you every night, so I don't want to hear it. He gets us right with the steaks and the potatoes, and he gets us fed well. Derek Smith.
Who is the funniest person on the team? Can't choose yourself.
Got me there. Not Nelly. It's definitely not Nelly. I think Luke Ory. Luke Ory is definitely probably one of those guys, you can always look to get a laugh from, and always there to get you back in your spirits when you're sitting down, and he's one of those guys who I love dearly for that. Definitely Ory.
All right, who's most likely to be late to class?
Ori. Also Ori. Ori has a cardiac late problem, and he cuts it close to a lot of different things. So it's definitely Ori with that question too.
Coach, something to work on this year for sure there for him.
Oh, he knows.
Who's most likely to talk an entire bus ride?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who's likely to talk the most? This is a hard one. We don't really have a lot of talkers on the bus ride. Most of the time we kind of hunker down and we're in our phones watching videos or movies together as a team. But you know what, Coach Eli. I think Coach Eli would probably talk. You know what, you do talk the whole. Coach Eli. Coach Eli talks the whole time.
Great answers. We appreciate that. We'll do the same thing with Summer Joe on the other end. First things first. Who's the best cook on the ladies' team?
I say that's hard. I know Abby. Abby Burns cooks a lot, so I'm probably gonna go with her.
Somebody who's really funny.
I don't know. I feel like we're all pretty funny. I'd have to go with Sam though. Sam's probably our funniest girl on the team. She's always lifting us up at practice, always giving us a good laugh.
All right, most likely to be late to class or practice.
Probably Ava. That's our girl who's always coming in late, but we still love her.
I like how you guys know who right away. It doesn't take you guys much time to answer. And then who would talk an entire bus ride, do you think?
Probably me. I'm on. See, Coach here. Yeah, I'm pretty talkative. I'm one who never shuts up. You can probably ask anybody in the room.
That's all right. Great answers there, guys. Let's get back to our coaches. We just mentioned it. Big part of getting people to a new program, to a college program in general, is recruiting. We'll start with Coach Campbell. What are some things you like to do along the recruitment trail, whether it be locally, out of state, philosophies you have, anything you want to mention when you're recruiting somebody?
Yeah, for sure. So, as everybody in the room knows, Ohio's not too kind to me right now. A lot of guys in this room are not from Ohio. A lot of guys on my team are from all over the place. So recruiting for me is, I guess I don't have any preferences. I like guys that can play lacrosse at a high level. I like guys that are athletes as well, good stick work, all those little things, good IQ. That's what I really look for. And then after that, getting it down on the paper, it's about the contact with their club coaches, it's about the contact with their high school coaches, and really figuring out what kind of person they are. And, if they can really fit into the program. So, from there, it's really a vetted out process. It may take 3 to 6 months sometimes. It usually starts in the summertime when I'm trying to figure out, hey, what seniors am I looking at, rising seniors that is, and what rising juniors I want to look at, and then vetting them out and really seeing. Then getting them on campus and then really seeing how they fit in with the guys. And then from there, it's all about the guy. Do they want to make a decision? Can they commit to a program like this? Do they fit in well? And then if they say yes, we're awesome. If they say no, move on to the next guy. I always tell guys that no's my, second favorite answer. I like yeses. But if you tell me no right away, then I can move on to the next guy and kind of feed on and keep going throughout that process.
Coach Jewell?
I have a saying, attitude is everything. And that's one of the things I really look for when I'm out recruiting and trying to bring girls to Malone. Coach Campbell had said it before, we want that right fit. We want that right person here at Malone and part of our team. So one of the best examples I can give is going to a recruiting tournament, and I remember hearing a young lady cheering on her teammates, and I was not there to watch her, I was not there to evaluate her, but she caught my eye. And then just through a series of conversations, continued to talk to her, and I was like, okay, this girl's not only a good attitude, but a good player as well. So, you continue to watch and develop that relationship over time, and have a little interview process or a Zoom meeting and say, again, this girl could really make an impact not only on the lacrosse field, but in the academic field, and also in our family that we have as far as our lacrosse team. So to finish that story out, this young lady, it actually ended up just verbally committing tonight during our defensive meeting, and she is from Texas. She's 2026, so she's verbally committed, and she is one of those girls that, like I said, she was not on my radar until I heard her cheering her teammates on in a tournament, and then got to know her and said, this girl has a really good personality, loves lacrosse, loves God, and will fit in well with our family.
Congrats there, Coach. That's a great story and definitely a positive for the university going forward. We'll go back to you, Cody. I find student athletes always excited to talk academics, studying, classes, things like that. Walk us through what you're working on right now for your major, your minor, and some positives, some things you love academically about Malone University.
Absolutely. So I'm actually double majoring right now in business administration and marketing. I'm a junior, like we said earlier, so I'm 1 year away. I'm getting pretty close to the finish line here. I'm sorry. Well, one of the biggest things I do is study hall, and we all love our study hall. We're all together. It's a family thing, like we've been saying all night long. That has really helped me abundantly. Also, a lot of my fellow teammates are the same major as me, so we're in a lot of the same classes together. It's a lot about accountability. I always can depend on these guys to tap me on the back and be like, hey, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you need to get on it. Like, you're expected to do so. And vice versa, I can always tell these guys with no hard feelings, hey, you're not doing this, you need to buckle down and get this done. So I think that's one of the biggest things for me that's helped me academically so far, be successful at Malone. Also, I really like that Malone has smaller classes, and I'm really intimate with my teachers, and my teachers all know me by first name. I have the majority of my teachers' phone numbers, so if I really need anything, I can always text them, email them, call them, and they'll get back to me like that. And that's one of the biggest things I really love about Malone is the intimacy between the classroom and my education.
All right, Cam English on the other end. Same question. Academically, what are you working on right now, and what are some things you're loving about the university?
So right now, I'm a junior nursing major here at Malone, and I have an addiction counseling minor. It is a lot. It's a lot to go to clinicals. I have 2 clinicals a week, but Coach Joel is really flexible with my schedule and really plans practices around what we can attend and what we can't go to. But in the nursing major alone, in my class, there's 11 girls that's going to graduate with me, and about 5 or 6 of them are in different sports. So the nursing program is able to work around all of our schedules, which is something that's unheard of in other colleges. So it's something that they're really proud of. And then we also have a 100% passing rate for our boards. So it's something that I'm really excited to be a part of, and I really love being here. And the academic side, but also the athletic side. So.
All right, we'll keep it on that side of the table. We'll ask Cambry. Just 3 of you guys up there. We'll give you an opportunity to shout out some other teammates, some things they've done this off season, or anything you've noticed going into the year that you're excited about from other teammates.
Yeah, we are really tight as a team, so I think Abby is my big go. She keeps everything fun, and yeah, I just am really looking forward to it.
Anyone else on the team?
I really feel like all like the captains, I feel like we're all really, really close and really tight, and yeah.
Zach, same question for you. Who are some guys on the team right now that you've noticed, either leadership-wise or effort they put in this offseason that you want to shout out?
Yeah, I would say Talon right here, he always is doing something lacrosse related, whether it's coaching in the summer, so. And then I would say Ori, he always puts in that work. He plays box up in Canada, so he's always got his stick in his hand as well. So those 2 guys are always constantly getting better. Some of our defensive guys, we brought more defensive guys in this year. We're kind of short-staffed on offense, but defensively, I'm just excited to see what our defense does when they come in.
All right, we'll go back to Talon for a second here. We've talked a lot about recruiting tonight. For somebody out of state, how hard is it to make that decision to come to Ohio, and is that exciting, or were there some things you kind of had to struggle with that coach helped you get there to come to Canton?
So if you didn't know, I'm a transfer. I came from a school in Illinois, Lewis University. And it's always hard taking that step to leave home. It can be scary, but at the same time, like I said, it's exciting. And I think like in my recruiting process with Coach Mike, he made it really easy because I just loved everything that he was saying. He's super upfront, super honest, and that you can't always get that with college coaches in the recruiting process. But I knew exactly what I was getting myself into as soon as I stepped foot on campus. So I really wasn't worried at all coming here, and honestly, it's been amazing. The past 3 years of my life have been so great. He's helped me grow as a person, as a leader, and it's awesome being around the guys. I mean, like the locker room element is what, it just makes my day every day. Spending time with them, it's the best. So.
It's a good team answer, pro answer right there. I like it. We'll ask Summer Joe the same question. You choose a school out of state, a team out of state, and what's that decision process like?
Yeah, actually one of my favorite stories to tell. I was not looking at a school anywhere near the Midwest. I'm from Michigan, and I really wanted to get out of the cold, so kind of a surprise that I came here. I was actually only looking at schools in Florida, and it was actually a tournament in Florida that my coach recruited me at. I remember it so distinctly because I was the last one to come off the field, and he sat there and he waited for me, and so I remember that because he put in that effort to sit there and talk to me, and he just gave me a couple of resources of information, and it allowed me to sit there and follow up. And like I said, I wasn't expecting this. God threw me a big curveball coming here, but I honestly couldn't be happier. I mean, in my recruiting Zoom, I probably had a 2-hour phone call with him. We had to set back up just because the conversation kept going so well, and I came to visit, and when I was visiting, I kind of knew that this was the school for me. Like I said, I wasn't expecting it, but I've met so many great people here, and I love everybody here. I've grown in who I am as a person, who I am spiritually, and just, like I said, the people here are some of the best people I've ever met.
Great answer. Coach Campbell, want to talk more about the athletes we have here today. The 3 guys you wanted to represent your team tonight. Walk us through a little bit about them, why you chose them to represent here, and any recruitment stories or game stories, or I don't know, joking around, whatever you think.
All right, so great question there. I probably can talk about hours for all 3 of these guys here, and then some of the guys in the room. And they all got different stories and things like that. But I guess you can say recruiting these guys, starting with talent, it's been like a 10-year process, recruiting talent. For those who don't know, I coached down in Georgia. While coaching down in Georgia, I coached someone that talent knew, Alex Stoll, a former player of mine. I actually spoke to him the other day, so he's still trying to funnel me guys. He's moving to the real estate space. So he's not sure how long he's going to be able to coach doing both those things. But I've known Talon since he was in high school pretty much. And, some vivid memories I have about him is, I'm FaceTiming Stully, hey, put Talon on the phone, let me say hi. Talon's blowing me off. So, Talon was in the portal. Stully reached out to me and was like, 3-way call, Coach Mike, me, you, Tal. I was like, all right, let's do it. So Talon was actually my first phone call when I got the job up here. Then from there, went from Talon to Luke Ory, and then kind of the rest is history as the pieces kind of fell into place. Then to tell you a little bit about Zach. Zach was a guy, kind of threw me a little bit of a curveball. Didn't really realize that he actually wanted to play for me. Until he actually put his deposit in. I got a call the next morning from Dan Carmody, and he was like, Zach Smart just put his deposit in. I was like, what? No way. And then, I called Zach. He's just like, yeah, I was going to keep it a surprise, Coach. But, Zach and I's relationship is also, super tight-knit as well. So, when it's time to go, all these guys are definitely going to be missed. But Zach definitely kept me on the hook. That's for sure, for a long time. So one of the first Ohio guys actually got into the program, and both these guys have been first-team all-conference guys. Zach was a freshman of the year candidate or winner as well. So big goals for these guys, to be All-Americans this year. And then, going down to Cody, same thing, man. A lot of these guys from year one on the hook, me, big bravado. Yeah, Tanya, I'll bring in people. You don't have to worry, I have the pedigree to do it. So, I don't know, Cody and I talked for a while, and then same thing, just disappeared off the face of the earth. Then I just, Cody will tell you, just kept texting, kept trying to call, carrier pigeon, so have you, just trying to get him on the phone. So eventually, we get on the phone, he comes up for a visit, and he meets me, and then kind of the rest has been history. Been a 3-year starter for us going into this year, of course, and a guy that battles every single day, a guy that comes in, leads by example, puts the effort in, and, really wants the program to be the best that it can be. And that's how all these guys feel up here. That's why they're up here representing us, because they're good reflections of not only myself, but what Malone Lacrosse is and what it will be going into the future.
Coach, seems like recruiting's easy for you. They come to you. I don't know. I'm starting to get that vibe. Coach Jewell, same thing. Why we have these 3 representatives for the ladies team tonight?
Oh, the things I can say about these 3 right now. Okay, no, in all seriousness, the 3 ladies to my left and several other girls on this team, they are my right hand women, and I really do when I coach. Yes, I had the final say. I'm the coach. Yes, but this is really a team approach, and that's how I take this. I was never a women's goalie. I was never a women's defender. I was never a women's attack. These girls really are able to help me be a better coach. So I appreciate everything that they do, but also their input. So a couple things about Miss Summer, and we've already talked about Miss Summer a little bit. She loves to talk. We have established that, but Summer's also been a great leader and a recruiting tool. When I would bring girls here on campus, I was always amazed by if I had a question about defense or a question about recruitment, I could get Summer on the phone within a matter of seconds. So she was always my go-to as far as being able to talk to recruits and get her on the phone. So she was always on speed dial. I would answer within the first or second ring. I love also, moving on to Cambry, her leadership and the poise and maturity that she brings to the team. So she's always able to help out and provide input and help me run drills better. And again, like I said, she and all of these girls make me a better coach. Cam on the end, great story about Cam. Cam's actually a transfer student. Before I came to Malone, I was a coach at a team that's in Ashland. We won't mention their name, but funny story about Miss Cam on the end. Cam was actually registered, had deposited here at Malone to go to Malone. And when I was over on that other team, I actually called Cam up and talked her out of coming to Malone and to come play for me over there in Ashland. Oh, I said that word. I shouldn't say that. Anyway, so she ended up coming over to play in Ashland, and my contract didn't get renewed, but she ended up staying at Ashland and became a great little attacker over there in Ashland. And when we started the program here a couple years ago, Cam ended up hearing about that, and for multiple reasons, like she had already said, the nursing program, and most importantly, the culture that we bring to the field. She ended up transferring and is now going to be a vital part of our offense. So all three of these girls over here are great captains, but they're great leaders. They're also great coaches in my book. And I also want to point out other girls here on the team, not only these captains, but girls like Abby Burns, who brings a world of knowledge from Australia to our lacrosse field, her determination and her tenacity. Emma Weintz, who is a local girl, but brings heart to the field. These girls played their hearts out last year. Some of our freshmen, like Meg Ridgway from Minneapolis and Soph Sanchez from Chicago, all bringing a lot of experience and newness to the team. But they're also leaders. Meg helping me run different drills. Soph giving her input when it comes to defense. So we have a team full of leaders, and a lot that I'm sorry they're not even coming to my head, but there's a lot of leadership on this team. So I'm very thankful not only for the leadership, but for the culture that these girls provide.
Great answers from both coaches. Appreciate that. Similar theme. We'll start with the guys over here. Talk a little bit real quick about your coach. We talked recruiting, but let's talk coaching-wise, what you like about Coach and what he's done for you as a player.
Yeah, I'll start that off. I honestly just think that most of us could agree that Coach is one of us. I feel like I can talk to him just like how I can talk to Talon or Ori or Ramsey or anybody else, and you can text him for anything. We have individual meetings with him to make sure we're doing okay and stuff, and he makes sure that stuff's all followed through. I think that you couldn't ask for a better coach, honestly, and even just the van rides home, me, Ramsey, and Coach are always talking it up, and it's just like another one of the boys with you, so that's what I gotta say about him.
Yeah, kind of big piggybacking off of what Zach said. He really is one of us. He really is one of the guys. Like he will definitely be invited to my wedding as well as everyone else in this room with me. So Coach has been such a great and outstanding role model to me, really, growing up. These last 3 years, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, so I moved far away to come here when I was 18, and it was just because of Coach. Coach had talked to me over the phone, and I had felt very comfortable with him, and he really seemed like he believed in me more than what most people give me credit for, and he really took a chance on me. And coming up here over these last 3 years, I've really learned to become a better man because of him, and I've learned to become a better leader and a better teammate, and I really owe everything I have to Coach Mike for that. So that's just what I want to say.
So yeah, they said pretty much everything that I was gonna say. I can just say on the lacrosse end of things, he really made me the player that I am today. I mean, he's pushed me harder than any coach I've ever had, and I really appreciate him for that because I don't think I'd have the success without him. And we have conversations after practice every day, what I could have did better, what I need to do better, and I'm just thankful for that because like come game time, I know he relies a lot on me. And he puts a lot of pressure on me, and I'm thankful for that as well. Because, I mean, I've not had coaches like that before, and he's really got the best out of me for sure.
Ladies, same question. A little bit about Coach Jewell that you want people to know.
Yeah, I'll start. So I'm gonna start with off the field. When we all committed here, we obviously probably a big reason was for Coach, but something we've learned about him as we've been here is he's almost like a second dad to us. That's the way a lot of us see him, is that he's there for us if we have good days and bad days. Anything that we really need to talk about, he's someone who's going to be there for us. And we always know that we can rely on him with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggy off of Summer pretty hard on that. really anything that you have to talk about or want to talk about, Coach is right there. You're bored in his room. His door is always open. It's really never shut. He's literally always there for you. Yeah, coming into this program as a first year, obviously there's nothing to really look onto as like season-wise, so you kind of just have to go off the coach. And I wasn't really going to go to college, which that's kind of a big thing to say, but he's the one that really pulled me into coming here.
Kind of what they said. I think he is one of the few coaches I've met in all my recruitment process and all the coaches I've had experience with that actually cares about me in all aspects of my life. Not just me as an athlete, not just me as a student here at Malone, but pretty much everything. He has a joke that he keeps food that 5-year-olds would like in his office, which really works for all 27 of us to get us in the office. We got gushers in there, we got fruit snacks in there, anything we'd ever want. So pretty much anytime you're walking in Osborne, if you look into Coach's office, one of us is in there, and we're always having good conversations with him. He keeps window de-icer in his office. I mean, he has everything that we'd ever want. That, just like Summer said earlier, he's just pretty much like a dad to us. So, yeah.
All right, we'll stay on the ladies' side. After all those nice words, if you could pick one drill that you would make Coach do at practice this year to end practice, what drill would that be?
Pretty much the X factors you've made us do lately. Making us sprint across the field multiple times. Kind of came out of nowhere lately with those. The conditioning's been pretty heavy lately, so I would say some of those, yeah.
Yeah, you usually get sprints. Sprints is usually the answer. Guys, what about you? What do you think you would have Coach do?
So yeah, we collectively agreed over here pretty quick. We'd make them roll all the way down, all the way back, 4 times.
Explain that to the people.
Yeah, I gotta know what this is, yeah.
I mean, it sounds like what it is. You lay on the ground and like you roll down the entire length of the field. No arms, you just gotta roll. And yeah, it's tough. It's not fun, but yeah, I would love to see him roll down the entire length of the field.
He'll get really dizzy too.
Yeah, the dizziness is what really gets you.
Yeah, when you roll down, stand up, sprint back. Roll down, stand up, sprint back.
That's a good one.
All right,
Stop giving our coach ideas.
Strong plan here. I like it. Maybe you guys can make a bet with the coaches at some point. We'll stay on the guys' side of things here. Goals for the season, both personally and for the team. We'll start with Cody.
Yeah, so I'll start with the team goals. We really want to take it the next step forward this year and enter the NCAA tournament. We really think we can do it, and I know we can do it. We're very competitive in our conference, and we have the guys, we have the skills, we have the athletes, we definitely have the coach, we have the players, we have everything we need to be successful in this conference, and I really do believe that this year we come out strong and come out fighting. We will be able to make a name for ourselves, and we'll be able to get to the NCAA conference championship. So that's definitely my team goal, I would say. Personally, I would like to make an all-conference award this year. I haven't gotten them the last 2 years, so this year I hope to just push it a little bit further than I have before with my effort, my energy, and really make a name for myself personally and get that achievement.
Yeah, Cody kind of hit there that we wanted to make the tournament, but I think one team goal that I would have for us is winning in the GMAC tournament first. We got into it last year and we lost against Lake Erie, so I think winning a game in that would be cool, and then just beating Walsh this year again and playing well in the GMAC itself. Personally, me and Tom were both first team all conference last year, so I guess we can battle it out for Player of the Year this year. So I would love to get first team all conference or Player of the Year, but yeah, it's reaching high.
Challenge for you.
So yeah, they pretty much said like team goals wise. I mean, I just want, like Coach says a lot. Like I want to go into every game with this delusional confidence. It doesn't matter who's in front of us, and I feel like that mentality is really being engraved in our culture. And I think that will push us the next step here this season. Just no matter who's in front of us, we're gonna fight and we're gonna go for it. I mean, we want to beat everyone, and I think we can. As Cody says, we got the guys to do it. So personally, yeah, first team all conference last year, and it's always been a goal of mine in lacrosse to get that All-American status. and I'm gonna work as hard as I can to do it. That'd be awesome. That'd be the ultimate honor for me as well, and my team's gonna help me do it. So.
Let's go to the ladies here. Some team goals, some personal goals you guys want to put out there for the year?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I just want to kind of go into every game with some big, like, infectious joy. That's something I'm working on personally in my life, and so I'd love to just continue that in every game and just spread that to each of my team members, just going into every game, even if we're losing. But obviously, as our team goal, I'm tired of losing and I'm ready to start winning. And I got some personal vendettas to go and got some teams I want to beat.
Yeah, for the team, just like Summer said, I'm tired of losing. It's a mental struggle. So I would love to win more games. For me personally, I would honestly take any award. I feel like that is just a big goal in general. And then also just keeping my mental health up, because last year also was like a mental struggle. So I feel like obviously this year's gonna be better with more people, but I say also just keeping my mental health up.
Kind of going along with what they said, I mean, yeah, last year was a really big struggle for us, a really big entering into the GMAC. So I think just shocking the GMAC this year and really playing our hardest in every single game and not giving up is a pretty big team goal, and really being a true competitor in the GMAC. Personal goal, I didn't get to play last year with transferring within the conference, so I think just coming back stronger than I have been playing, this being my redshirt junior year. So just come back stronger, like Cam said, like any award I can take, but really just being like a positive influence on the field.
All right, we'll close with the coaches here. Some thoughts on the upcoming season, things they've already kind of seen as the players have gotten ready, things they want to see in the upcoming year, and a little bit about the status of the program into the future. We'll start with Coach Jewell.
So this year, the words that come to mind are kind of like shock and awe, and that's what we want to bring into the GMAC. If I could have teams like Tiffin and Lake Erie in front of me right here tonight, I would say we're coming after you, and that's exactly the attitude we're taking. Last year, it was a tough year, but we're also putting that behind us. We are a different team, it's a different mentality, and we are going to rock the GMAC this year. They do not know what's coming to them. The future, it looks really good. We have several 25s that have already committed and signed their paperwork. We have a couple others that are just waiting for applications to get finalized or FAFSA. So 25s are looking really good here. And then, like I said, we already have 26s that are coming to start verbally committing. So looking ahead, we have really good things, not only good girls as far as athletes and lacrosse players, but good girls that will bring a good culture to this team and allow us to continue to grow. So very excited about the future. And like I said, GMAC, we're coming for you.
Coach Campbell?
For sure. So I guess you can say some positives, some things that I always talk about with the guys. Talon kind of hit on it. A little bit of that delusional confidence that we have to have in every game going in. We play a lot of good opponents, whether it be Seton Hill, Frostburg State, Montevallo, teams of that nature that have been ranked, and they know to be ranked and be a part of that, bigger picture, make a name for ourselves. We got to take those guys down. So, every day in practice, we're doing little things to get better, of course. But the biggest thing I've seen from the guys is, I can see the intent. They're very intentional, just like I am with all the details. They're looking forward to practice every day. They're trying to figure out, hey, how can we be better? The chatter is going on both ends of the ball with our special team guys. They're always trying to figure out, what's an edge that we can do? What's something we can set as a practice goal or individual goal to be better? So, it's really exciting to see. I always talk about laying down bricks and having a good foundation. And these guys are starting to see it. These guys up here have seen it. All these guys have been here since the start. So, from year 1 to year 3, it's definitely been, vastly different. Now we're starting to see what our environment looks like, what our culture's going to be like. How do we get more guys here? And that's because, once again, the guys here in this room and the guys sitting next to me, they're doing it. They're laying it down. They're putting their bodies on the line. They're putting their hearts on the line. They're all taking risks to be here. And then as far as the future goes, we got a good amount of guys committed now. We're trying to add a handful more just because we got to replace some guys here. Trying to go our roster up to around 40 guys for this upcoming season of 26. So, future's looking bright. But as these guys know, we don't count the days, we make them count. Every day we try to make sure that the days are made, and these guys are laying down in bed and they're like, I did the best I could, not only in the classroom, but my relationships and on the field with one another.
Very exciting seasons coming up here. Before we close, do want to offer golden opportunity here for audience questions. Anything you want to ask the guys or girls before we finish out?
Eli's got a question.
Yeah, he's got
Nah, I'm sparing your third time. Zach wants to get on the road. He lives in Copley. He wants to go home.
All right, well, really exciting night tonight. Always great to meet the athletes and hear from the athletes here at the university because you get to see what great students the university has, what great athletes and followers of Christ. So appreciate everybody that was on the panel and everybody that came to watch. And that concludes media night for the lacrosse program.